Hi, Simon Chappell here. I'm the Quit Alcohol Coach, and as always, I'm here to help you smash your sobriety. If you enjoy the videos on my channel, please hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to me, and it means that you won't ever miss another video. There's new ones every Tuesday and every Thursday. And if you need more help for quitting drinking, come join my program at joinbesober.com. You can try the first 14 days completely free of charge. Today, I wanted to talk about alcohol-free drinks. I had a question from someone who's in my Facebook group about whether alcohol-free drinks are safe to have after we become sober. And it always starts a roaring debate in my group. Some people think that they're dangerous, they can be a trigger, that will be a slippery slope to going back to drinking alcohol, whereas other people find them one of the most useful tools in quitting drinking. So let me just read the question out for you. It's from a guy called Craig. And Craig said, "What are your thoughts on alcohol-free drinks? I tried Heineken Zero recently and I really liked it. But to be honest, I'm worried that it's turning into a cover-up. It smells like real booze and I've had to hold strong with it for a couple of weeks before now. Is it a slippery slope or is it a genuine substitute? I'm curious to get your input." And I think it's a great question. Now, I'll share a little bit about my own story with alcohol-free drinks. I'll share with you what's worked for other people who I coach and who are members of my Facebook group. As I say, there is a variety of different opinions on this, and I think it's important that people explore it for themselves. But hopefully I can arm you with some information that will enable you to make a solid decision, a decision that feels right for you, without you having to experience any triggers or cravings to drink, so that you feel really informed before you delve into the world of alcohol-free drinks. So here in the UK, we have a wide range of low alcohol, no alcohol, de-alcoholized drinks, and it's difficult to tell what's okay to drink, what's not okay to drink if you're sober. So if a drinks manufacturer calls their drink alcohol free, it shouldn't have more than 0.05% of pure alcohol in it. However, the manufacturers can be crafty with the labels. Instead of using the term alcohol free, they use the term non-alcoholic, which bypasses it. They can then put non-alcoholic on a 0.5% drink. So just be careful when you're picking up and looking at these different alcohol-free options. Take a look at how much alcohol there is, because a low alcohol drink can have up to 1.2% alcohol in it. And that might not be okay. I personally wouldn't drink anything that's got 1.2% alcohol in it. You're not going to get very drunk off of it, but it just doesn't feel okay for me. So the actual categories that should be used in the UK are alcohol free, that should be no more than 0.05%. De-alcoholized should have no more than 0.5%. I rarely see de-alcoholized on a label. I always see non-alcoholic. So they get round it using that, like I say, which gives the impression that actually it's got absolutely zero alcohol in it, but that's not the case. So just keep your eye open. And then low alcohol beer, that can contain up to 1.2% pure alcohol. And then regular alcoholic drinks, 1.2% and above. But I see regularly drinks that are lower alcohol, for example, wine, that instead of being 12 or 14% alcohol content, might be 7%. 8%, and it says low alcohol on it. So clearly these rules aren't being enforced, they're not being followed, or the drinks manufacturers are sidestepping them with slightly different wordings that get around the problem because they're describing it as something completely different. They're using different terminology and that circumvents it. So I guess it's a case of buyer beware. You're sober or you're quitting drinking, you're in a place where you don't want to have alcoholic drinks. And it's important to understand what your boundaries are, what you're okay with. Different people are okay with different things. And that's what I want to explore in this video, to make sure that you've got that level of awareness, that level of understanding around what is going to be okay in your own personal situation. So on my own journey, I absolutely did dive into alcohol-free beers, alcohol-free wines, and then I moved on to different types of drinks, which I'll get into in just a moment. I used to drink beer with my dinner in the evening. And after I'd had a couple of cans of strong beer, I'd move on to drinking red wine, normally 2, maybe 3 bottles. Sometimes I'd go for a wine box, and I would repeat that process day in, day out. I rarely drank during the day, but as soon as it got to 6, 7 p.m. at night, I would start drinking, and I'd keep going until the alcohol had run out. I found that after I quit, it kind of left a void. I was a ritualistic drinker. Every evening I would sit either in the garden or in front of the television. I'd have a bottle of wine with me, and I would I'd fill my glass up and I'd drink. And then I'd always make sure it was about 3/4 full. So even when I got halfway down, I found myself pouring again. And I enjoyed that ritual of pouring and drinking, pouring and drinking. And after I quit, I found that my hands needed something to do. I was sat watching TV and I felt kind of tetchy, and the devil makes work for idle hands, and I didn't want that to happen. So I started to explore the world of alcohol-free drinks, and my goodness, it really is an amazing world. As I say, many people credit alcohol-free drinks as one of the biggest tools that has helped them quit. So don't dismiss them, but tread with caution. I don't want you going and finding something that's going to be a trigger for you. And that was what happened to me. Not long after I quit, I figured I can buy low alcohol red wine. I used to drink red wine. I could have it in my wine glass. Everything will be exactly the same, just like it was before, but there'll be no alcohol in it. First of all, I found the red wines to be absolutely disgusting. And I've never found anybody who's told me that they've experienced an enjoyable, pleasant tasting, alcohol-free red wine. I think it's something to do with the way that they remove the alcohol from it. It damages the flavor and causes it to taste like bad grape juice. Try it for yourself if you want. You might have a different palate to me, but personally, alcohol-free red wine was disgusting. But the worst thing was it triggered me. When I had it in the glass, it just looked, smelt, and almost tasted too much like the real thing, but not enough like the real thing to be convincing. But it was just too similar. And I found that as I was drinking it, I was wanting to drink real red wine. So I quickly stopped. I got rid of it. With alcohol-free beers, it was a different story. I enjoy Beck's Blue, which is 0.0%, Heineken, 0.0% as well. And on top of that, I've enjoyed lots of the other ales, IPAs. I even found a stout, which is like Guinness, you know, the Irish drink Guinness, which was absolutely amazing from the Big Drop Brewing Company. That's well worth checking out. And most of the ones I drink are 0.0. For about 6 months after I quit, I did not feel comfortable drinking any alcohol-free, low alcohol drink that wasn't 0.0. I figured I've quit drinking. If I'd become vegan, I wouldn't have 0.5% meat. Why am I going to have 0.5% alcohol? I just didn't want it. But after I went to the Club Soda Mindful Drinking Festival, where they had over 100 stalls from alcohol-free drinks manufacturers, and I was able to taste them, talk to the people behind the drinks and find out more, I actually learned that a drink containing 0.5% alcohol is actually going to do absolutely no harm whatsoever. We can find that same amount of alcohol in day-to-day items. And I've actually put together a little list to share with you some of the items that you'll probably be really surprised that contain alcohol in similar levels to a 0.5% alcohol-free beer, wine, or other drink. So let me just read those out for you. So the first one is rye bread. Rye bread has 0.18% alcohol. So that's actually more than a 0.05% alcohol-free beer. A pear, the fruit, is 0.04% alcohol. Cherry yogurt, I don't know why cherry, other yogurts are available in different flavors, 0.02%. But the two that really shocked me were bananas. If you have an overripe banana with dark bits on it, the alcohol content can be as high as 0.4%. And we're talking here about whether it's okay to go up to 0.5% for a low alcohol drink. You can get that in one banana with dark bits on it. So I'm going to say it's probably okay. And the next one shocked the life out of me. So the bread rolls that you have on your hamburgers can contain up to 1.28% alcohol. Yes, you heard that correct. 1.28% alcohol. I just couldn't believe it when I discovered this. 1.28% alcohol in burger rolls. Who knew? I didn't know that one. I often hear people say about bananas and how they contain alcohol, but burger rolls have 3 times as much. I do need to find out whether it's a particular type of burger roll, whether we need to avoid McDonald's, Wendy's, or somewhere else, or if it's just the burger rolls we get in the supermarkets. I imagine it's a particular type of burger roll. So watch this space, I'll get back to you on that one. So when I realized that actually alcohol is contained in a lot of things that we eat on a day-to-day basis, it's also found in apple juice, orange juice, and a bunch of other drinks that we wouldn't consider alcoholic, I realized that actually up to 0.5% is not going to do me any harm whatsoever. You would need to drink a lot of that stuff to even feel any kind of effect, more than you would even want to drink. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go up to 0.5%, but that is my ceiling with it. And it's on the basis that there's other things out there with that same amount of alcohol. And actually, I'm excluding myself from a huge percentage of the alcohol-free drinks market, which I realized when I went to the Mindful Drinking Festival. But I waited until I was about 6 months sober, maybe even more than that, before I made that decision. At the start, I felt 0.0% was absolutely fine for me. I just didn't want to go there. But after I was feeling much stronger, I knew that I would never go back to drinking. I decided that actually these drinks are okay. Lots of people in the sober community are enjoying them. And I didn't want to miss out on those zero alcohol options that could be awesome drinks. They could be my next go-to zero alcohol drink. I say zero alcohol, I mean 0.5%, of course. And I enjoyed so many of them. Ghost Ship is an amazing beer. If you can get your hands on Ghost Ship and you like an ale, it's by Adnams Brewing Company. It's absolutely fantastic. They've realized that there's an alcohol-free revolution going on and they don't want to miss out. They want our money. And to be honest, if they make great alcohol-free beers, they're welcome to it. So I always make sure I've got a nice supply of cold alcohol-free beers in my fridge. I'll often have one with my evening meal, and then after that, I have something completely different. So when I find myself in that place where I used to be with my bottle of wine, sat in front of the television, sat in the garden, reading a book in the evening, that was my danger point. And that was where I felt I really needed something to fill the void that alcohol had left. Now, of course, one way of filling the void is getting off your butt and going and doing something different instead of sitting in front of the TV. So I did also join a fitness boot camp. I often go for evening walks now. I read a lot more books, but instead of reading them in the garden as much, I'll read them in my comfortable chair in my bedroom, which for some reason I would never drink in my bedroom. So it just works for me. Is there anywhere in your house where you just wouldn't drink? That could be your safe place. I remember the movie Panic Room, where a rich family had their home invaded and they had a room in the house that was a panic room that they could lock themselves in. Well, if you've got a room in your house that you know you would never drink in, I've had quite a few people say to me they would never drink in their bedroom. They just wouldn't touch booze in that place for some reason. And I'm absolutely the same. And if you've got that, you can use it to your advantage, especially in early sobriety. So if you find that you get triggered between 6 and 7 p.m. and you're having strong cravings, well, watch TV in your bedroom. Go and read a book in your bedroom. Go and meditate in your bedroom, whatever you need to do. And of course, there's a bunch of other tactics and tips for dealing with cravings, discomfort, any feelings that come up for you when you're trying to quit on my YouTube channel. So make sure you check those out if you need some extra support. But let's get back to alcohol-free drinks. So what I also learned from my visit to the Mindful Drinking Festival was that there's more than just alcohol-free beer and alcohol-free wine. In the UK, I think we are the leaders in the world when it comes to botanical drinks, alcohol-free spirits, and totally different and unique zero alcohol free drinks to cater to the sober community. Thankfully, the US and Canada are starting to play catch up, and a lot of these drinks are available on Amazon, so you can get them anywhere in the world. Frustratingly, you tend to pay a high shipping fee. but it's worth it. Your sobriety's got to come first. I was spending upwards of 25 to 30 pounds every day on wine and beer. So I don't mind spending a little bit of money on a really nice alcohol-free drink if that's going to help me stay sober. In the UK, I found that the best range of alcohol-free drinks from a supermarket is from Sainsbury's. Tesco's have some, Waitrose have a handful, Asda have a reasonable selection, and Marks and Spencer's also have a selection. But the best, hands down, is from Sainsbury's. They've got a huge alcohol-free department. They've got everything from alcohol-free beers through to alcohol-free wines, Proseccos, and of course, they've also got a great range of the Botanicals. Sainsbury's supermarkets seem to really be supporting the sober movement and doing their bit for the alcohol-free community. However, I do wish they would move the alcohol-free drinks away from the alcohol aisle. It's like putting slimming products next to the sweets, chocolate and confectionery aisle. Why would you do that? It should be somewhere separate. It should be with the healthy products. And hopefully somebody from Sainsbury's or one of the major supermarkets that stocks alcohol-free drinks will hear this, because I'm not the only person saying it. Anyway, I don't want to turn it into a rant about where I think alcohol-free drinks should be in the supermarkets. On my last trip to the US, I checked out the alcohol-free drink selections in Target and Walmart. There really wasn't much. There were some alcohol-free beers. I think there were a couple of alcohol-free wines that looked pretty disgusting. And there was nothing in the way of botanicals or alcohol-free spirits. So US, you need to play catch up. You need to get this stuff in your stores. And the only way it's going to happen is if us, the sober community, start telling the stores what we want. The more of us that email the likes of Target, the likes of Walmart, asking them why they're not stocking seed-lit botanical drinks, why they don't have more of a range of alcohol-free options, the more they're going to pay attention. So it's worth taking the time to just send an email, share it in one of the Facebook groups and ask other people to send the same things. Work as a community, and we will start to see these stores stocking more and more. Thankfully, they are. It is coming, but it's still nothing compared to the selection that we get in Sainsbury's here in the UK. And I often hear frustration from people in my Facebook group who are in the US or in Canada, and they just don't have that selection. And I really do empathize with you, because I can imagine how frustrating that must be, especially when you hear people from the UK banging on about how great these alcohol-free drinks are, and you can't get your hands on any. Well, the only way change is going to come about is if we tell people. So take the time to fire off an email, start making some noise about it, and we will see change. I've seen it happen here in London when people from the sober community have actually told owners of pubs that they want to see particular alcohol-free drinks stocked, and they've sat up and they've paid attention and they've started to stock them. The pub owners know that people who are sober are often driving people who are drinking, so it can be quite a valuable number of customers to them. And they also know that if they get a name for being an alcohol-free go-to pub, more and more sober people are going to come. If they do food, the sober people are going to buy food, so they're going to make more money. And I've seen that happen in pubs that had really limited alcohol-free options, and people from the sober community have simply asked. They've asked the landlord whether they would consider stocking a particular alcohol-free drink. Don't be afraid to do it. We need to have our voice heard. And even the big brands, the big supermarkets like Target and Walmart, they will listen if enough of us make some noise about it. I'll leave that one with you, but I would love to hear from anybody who started a campaign to get more alcohol-free drinks into the US or Canadian stores. So when I first found these botanical drinks and alcohol-free spirits, I got really excited. I thought that these products were there for the sober community. They've been created for us alcohol-free warriors to enjoy. And it felt like something special, something unique that you would only have if you were sober. Why would someone who drinks alcohol buy these products? They felt special. They felt like they'd been made just for me. And I wanted in on the action. So I started to buy these products and taste test them. There's actually another video on my YouTube channel. It is about an hour long where I taste test my 10 favorite botanical drinks and just give my views on them, describe the flavors, the packaging, because some of these drinks are quite expensive. So if you're looking to find a new one or you haven't tried any before, that's definitely worth a watch. Just check it out. The first thing I noticed about these botanical drinks was the amazing packaging that they came in. They were in beautiful bottles. They looked like expensive bottles of gin, thick glass, beautiful designs on the front, something that you would be proud to have front and center in your kitchen. They look great. Not all of them, but most of them look great. Seedlip is a really good example. Seedlip was one of the first into the market of botanical drinks, alcohol-free spirits. It's a premium product and it's really expensive. It's about £25 a bottle here in the UK. And it really is a great drink. It's a bit of a treat for me because I can go through one of those bottles in 3, maybe 4 days. But I feel like they set the standard. They had this wonderful packaging, this beautiful bottle, and it just looked awesome. And the others followed. The bar was pretty high, and the other drinks companies knew that they needed to do better. They needed to at least do the same. And what we've seen is this explosion in alcohol-free botanical drinks, alcohol-free spirits, and they just look wonderful. And not only do they look wonderful, they taste great, which is the most important thing. And there are a bunch of websites online that sell these drinks. Dry Drinker is a great one. The Alcohol Free Co. here in the UK is wonderful. The guy Tom who runs it is such an awesome guy. You can even email him directly through the website and he'll give you his recommendations around what he thinks would be a great drink for you. And he will ship to the US, he'll ship to Canada. Of course, there's a charge associated with it. But if you buy a bulk amount from him, it may well work out a decent value. So definitely check out the alcoholfreeco.co.uk. I'll put the website address in the description here on YouTube so you can take a look at that. So I decided to start trying these botanical drinks and alcohol-free spirits. I was never a spirit drinker, but these drinks don't taste like spirits. They call themselves spirits. It does not taste like vodka or whiskey or rum whatsoever. They have a taste all of their own, completely unique, really grown up. It's not like a juice drink that you would give to a kid. These are a grown up adult drink. And I quickly found that they were going to be my new go-to. I absolutely love them. And most evenings now I have a botanical drink or an alcohol-free spirit along with Fever Tree tonic and a nice slice of lime. And do you know what? I absolutely love it. And I love that I can have as much as I want or as little as I want. I enjoy the taste and I enjoy the drink for the drink that it is. And I enjoy being able to mix them as well. The fact that I can have more or I can have less and I can make it to suit my flavor. I've even incorporated a little bit of cordial syrup into the drink if I found that it's a little bit sharp, just to give it a bit more sweetness. And I really enjoy playing with the flavors. Sometimes I'll add 2 different botanicals in and mix the flavors together to find something that feels really nice. So I have lots of my own recipes and flavors for it. And it's almost become like a hobby, collecting and enjoying these different alcohol-free drinks in these amazing bottles and enjoying the wonderful flavors that I can pull together by using different ones or just having them as they come. And time again, people tell me the exact same thing. They tell me that they've discovered a brand of alcohol-free drink. It could be a Prosecco like No Secco, which is a really popular brand here in the UK. Or it might be an alcohol-free spirit. And they tell me that it's acting like a placebo. They just don't think about alcohol while they're having their new go-to drink. And that's what you need to achieve if you want to use this as a strategy. You want it to become your new go-to drink. You want to feel excited that you're having it. I often have a thought during the day about what alcohol-free drink I'm having in the evening, and I feel good about that. I think about it and I look forward to it. That's the place that you want to get to. And if I've got a new delivery of alcohol-free drinks coming, I get really excited. I can't wait to check out the flavors and enjoy it. I've actually got an alcohol-free rum coming today from a brand called Strike. I've tried their no alcohol vodka, which is called Not Vodka. And it's absolutely amazing. And it's really cheap in relation to some of the other brands out there. Wonderful packaging, beautiful logo, lovely bottle, tasted great. So I'm going to check out their zero alcohol rum today, and I'll be sure to let you know what that's like. And in many of the Facebook groups, people share their suggestions, their recommendations, and it really does feel like something incredibly special and incredibly powerful that we've got as our thing in the sober community. Couple of things that I'd recommend: get your own alcohol-free glass. I don't recommend using the same wine glass that you used to drink from, if you used to drink wine, for example, or the same tumbler that you used to drink whiskey from. Get a glass that to you represents sobriety. So I bought my own beautiful glasses with really nice, thick, chunky bottoms, and they're my alcohol-free glasses. Nobody else is allowed to touch them. They're mine. I actually broke one recently, but thankfully I bought them as a pack of 4. So yeah, don't smash them, whatever you do. But having your own alcohol-free glass makes it even more special. It makes it uniquely yours. And I think that's really important. So if you can get your own alcohol-free glass, discover a flavor, a brand, a taste that is right for you and feels really good, you're going to be well set for success in sobriety. But in some cases, you're going to struggle. As I said, the US, they just don't have the botanicals. And unless you're prepared to spend money on Amazon to get them delivered, which can be costly, it presents a problem. When I was last in the US, I did find a solution, and I want to share that with you so you've got something that you can go to if you don't want to spend vast amounts of money on botanical drinks or alcohol-free spirits, or if you just don't have it in your stores or you can't get your hands on it. And this was the solution I came up with. I went to Target and I found that they did have Fever Tree tonic water. So that was a win. I was really happy about that. But I didn't just want to drink tonic water on its own. I like it to have some flavor. I like it to feel like a grown-up drink. And of course, they didn't have any of these spirits or botanicals. And I certainly wasn't going to put alcohol in it. So I scoured the drinks aisles. I was determined to find something that would turn the tonic water into something more special, something that felt uniquely mine. And this is what I tried. I purchased some of the cocktail syrups that they use in the bars to put into the cocktails to give them flavor. They contain no alcohol whatsoever. They do contain quite a bit of sugar. And I bought a margarita, I bought a pina colada, and a couple of others. First of all, they were really vivid colors, which I knew was going to make the drink look really awesome. And second, I assumed that they would be strong flavors that I would be able to play with to make a drink that felt right for me. I also looked at some of the cordials that were available, because there's more than just orange squash and blackcurrant flavoured cordials these days. And I found there were loads that were appropriate to mix with tonic water. There was one that said it was gin infused with juniper, which I found was really tasty. Again, it had no alcohol in it whatsoever. It didn't taste like gin at all, but it added a really nice twist to the tonic water. So if you can't find botanical drinks or alcohol-free spirits, go and look at the different cocktail syrups, go and look at the different cordials. I also found elderflower fizzy drinks that were really nice. I found lemon and mint pressed style drinks, which were fizzy, and they went perfectly in the tonic water as well. So go and see what's out there that you can mix into the tonic water. And before you know it, you will have made your own alcohol-free drink. And if you've got your own alcohol-free glass and you put a nice slice of lime or a slice of lemon in it, you're going to find yourself looking forward to having that drink, and you're not going to be thinking about alcohol while you're having it. Now, this is all very well until you leave the house, until you go to a social event. Now, of course, if you're going to a social event, you can take your own alcohol-free drink with you. That's absolutely fine. If you're worried about telling people that you're not drinking, and there's another video talking about social events you might want to check out if that is a concern for you. But if you are worried about it, one excellent tip is just to keep your glass full. People don't need to see the bottle that you've got. They'll just assume that you're drinking alcohol. They also won't ask you if you want another drink if your glass is already full. But check out that other video if you're concerned about social events. But if you're going to a pub or a restaurant, an excellent strategy is to phone ahead. Ask them what alcohol-free drinks they've got. If they haven't got what you want, ask them if they're happy for you to bring your own and put it behind the bar. I've done that on more than one occasion and I've never been turned away. They're always happy for you to do it because they know you're spending money in their pub. They'd rather you were there. So you could put your bottle of Seedlip, your bottle of Botanical drink behind the bar and just order a tonic water and ask them to top it up, or you could top it up yourself. Again, if it's behind the bar, people aren't going to ask you questions as to why you're not drinking because they're just going to assume you've got an alcoholic beverage. Or you might feel comfortable telling people why you don't drink. Again, there's more videos about that on the channel here. So what I want to tell you is that in my view, alcohol-free drinks can be a massive asset on the journey to sobriety. For some people, they can be a trigger, but in my view, we should check out the whole wide spectrum of different alcohol-free options are out there. The only time I found a trigger was when I tried to drink exactly the same drink that I used to have without alcohol in it. And yes, that was a trigger for me. Other than that, nothing has triggered me. So I would suggest staying away from drinks that are too similar to what you used to drink. And of course, alcohol-free drinks are only one part of a much bigger picture when it comes to quitting drinking. So check out the other videos on my channel that share the strategies, the tips and the tactics for actually quitting drinking successfully on your own.